County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. My voice is going away. I just might have to have Nicole Sipos talk the entire time here.
I don't think that's going to be good.
You don't think that'll work? Our conversation with Nicole Sipos, Indiana Borough, brought to you by Marcus and Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Nicole, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you with us here
Thank
today.
you.
It's somehow when you get through IU Patty's weekend, everybody takes a big deep breath, don't they?
That's true. And boy, what a weekend. And I have to express my thanks to everybody out there, all of our partners, especially Chief Shaw and our Indiana Borough Police Department. Mm-hmm. Great job. IUP, State Police, our partners, Homer City, Blairsville, Punxsutawney. I mean, they came all over to help. And what a great community. They came together. And, you heard in the news, there's ups and downs, but I think what we need to focus on is the good stuff. There's people out there volunteering the next morning. Mm-hmm. IUP they had non-alcohol events planned all weekend. So the community is really working hard to try to, come together, have good events, and then unfortunately the kids come and parties happen and we'll get past it.
There are some negative things that come from it, but there's much positive as well. And the police agencies and the way they coordinate their activities is always a key to keeping the peace, and it's an awfully difficult job that they take, and they do. And we appreciate that so very, very much.
Right, and I do. I thank them for what they did this weekend for us. But,
absolutely. What else going on?
Well, and speaking of community service, April 22nd is going to be, it's a Saturday. It's going to be a great day here in downtown Indiana. We're partnering with Great American Cleanup. So we're hoping to get together with the IUP Into the Street events. And it's Earth Day, so we want to clean up Indiana Borough. And how that works is we'll have some dumpsters come in and some community volunteers, some whoever wants to volunteer that day. We got in contact with the PA Department of Environmental Protection, and they're offering us safety vests and bags and gloves. And we're going to make it a great morning. Go out and clean up the borough.
Yeah, there you go.
And that is one opportunity that, volunteers, fraternities, and we did it 2 years ago, and we had over 200 volunteers come out and help us with this event. So I'm really looking forward to it. April 22nd, and also, and I'm sure downtown Indiana will be in here talking about their events, and it's the Arts Walk, and IUP's hosting. IRMC will be closed down that day. They're hosting an event at IRMC. So we're hoping this all comes together. It's going to be a great day, great community event. And
so when you're saying IRMC, you're saying
IRMC Park. Yes, I'm sorry.
7th.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, we're shutting down IRMC?
No, IRMC Park.
It's the street.
The street will be shut down. Yes.
Okay, all right. So, it sounds like a great event, and again, it is another opportunity where we see so many of our great service organizations and others who just come together because they want the place to look nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
It's and I guess it's April, the Great American Cleanup. It's going on all over the Pennsylvania. So
if somebody wants to get involved in that, do they need to contact anybody or just show up?
It will be on we'll start putting the information out on our website, but if they want to contact me, we're looking for volunteers, and whatever organization wants to volunteer that day, reach out to the borough office. I'll be happy to talk to them.
Yeah. And then you would put them in a certain area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and that's what we're working. Our public works director and our parks department director, we're going to get together here and work on what areas that we think that need hit the most.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's one big thing going on. Next month is we'll be opening our paving bids. So, again, it's springtime's coming, and it's that time of year for getting ready for our paving. Now, if I read this list and you didn't make the list, there's other roads that we possibly will be doing in-house. So this is just our big paving list that we're doing. And this will all be on our website. We're looking between 6th and 7th Street, like South Avenue, Clark Avenue, Maryland Way, Virginia, Willow Avenue. So again, it's going to be in that area, but that's going to be the bigger paving projects. And then throughout the summer, in-house, we'll have some smaller paving areas.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's nice for folks in that neighborhood and in those neighborhoods where they get those nicely paved new streets.
I know, and if we could do more, we would. But
Sure.
Hopefully down the road, we'll get more funding for it. So, but speaking of funding, we did get a stormwater grant. We received funding through DCED to fix and replace the stormwater on around Marsh Run between 4th and 5th Street on Washington Avenue. And what that does is, because there's flooding areas, there's flooding problems down there in that Marsh Run area, and it's going to widen the stream, and it will allow the better flow of the water to protect the flooding, so we won't have the flooding down there. So, and that was a grant we received from DCED. So grant funding's out there, and we're applying, and we're doing everything we can to try to get these smaller projects, flooding and infrastructure. So the borough's working really hard and getting some funding.
Well, it's a big, long list of folks. There are a lot of towns in Pennsylvania they're all after the same little pile of money.
Right.
And if you can get your hands on some of it and put it to good use like that, well, that's what it's all about.
Right. I know. And we're, getting together, going to meet with our, state representatives and, and they hear it from every town. So it's just not us.
Yeah, sure.
We all need funding. But, I just want people to show up to our meetings. There's a lot going on. We had Public Works last night. We talk about streets and we talk about the flooding, Marsh Run, and, just a lot of information.
Well, that's the interesting thing about town councils. And Indiana Boroughs is representative of a lot of town councils all across the area. A lot of people don't know what goes on at those meetings because they're not all that interested in going until they have some issue that they want to bring up. But if you're really civically minded, maybe you want to go to a meeting or two through the course, even if it's just through the course of a year.
Right. And, our council meetings, they kind of reflect an overview of what happens at these committee meetings. And then, the committee meetings are more detailed of what, our vision and what we want to see happen. And then at the council meetings, we kind of summarize the report of what went on at those committee meetings. So it's a good way to, we have some students actually attending. A lot of students attend and see what government, is all about. It's interesting.
They get credit for that.
Once
we're adults, nobody gives us credit for it. We don't get class credit.
But I think people would find some things interesting, the things that, you don't hear often or we don't talk about enough. But at those committee meetings.
Yeah, well, one of the interesting things about that is, interesting to me anyway, and I always say that phrase a lot, I know. But the council members, they're not professionals at this.
They're all volunteers.
They're all volunteer. They're not paid, and they're not experts. But we have experts that come in and present to them all the pertinent information to make the decisions that have to be made. And as part of that whole process, townsfolk generally, there is an open question period where you can ask questions and you can speak.
Right.
And find out what the information is. So if something isn't covered by this council member or that, but it does remain a question in your mind, that's where you go.
Yeah, and hopefully we can, point you in the right direction, point you to the right person to talk to, point you to the right committee. Yeah, so we're getting there.
Yeah.
Open communication is what we're going for.
Doing all that. So anything else going on in downtown?
Yeah,
You're busy enough.
We are busy, and it's again springtime, summertime, painting. You're gonna see our street crew out there. Public Works is gonna be out painting lines. That's one of the big things we're gonna try to get done this summer. Bridge repair. There's a very big list.
Yeah, and you get toward the end of a winter and you find out really, did this storm sewer that we were keeping our eye on, did it survive? Is there a big pothole opening up here or there?
Or sinkholes. We noticed a couple sinkholes.
Yeah, that's scary there.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's underneath that surface.
Right.
When the sinkhole opens up, how deep that thing goes. But those sorts of emergencies are things that we pay close attention to.
Yeah. So, and I wanted to check our website because we try to post too when PA American Water or Penn, if people are working in our area, which they will be, I think PA American Water is going to be in the borough for weeks at a time, so doing some work. So definitely check the borough website for that, and it will update you, on the roads, and that's going to be work being done.
Yeah. She was afraid she wouldn't have enough to talk about here today. My goodness gracious. There's plenty to talk about. All right, Nicole, thanks so much. We appreciate your taking the stroll across the street to visit with us again. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. We're just about at the end of the mileage here today. AccuWeather tells us today we're on the way to 47. Mostly cloudy, a chance of afternoon showers in downtown Indiana right now. Our temperature this morning is still at 36 degrees. Indiana County 911 is still clear. And it is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160. Killmate is up next. It's 3 before 10.